Hello. Hello. Hello.
Welcome, sir.
Alaykum Salam. You're late for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, sir. Be
Part
on
of
time from
discussion.
next.
After this, I have two more classes.
I'll be on time from next time as well.
Second shifting theorem, because yesterday we have already done first shifting theorem. We have proved and we have done the problems also. Now next is second shifting theorem or heaviside shifting theorem. What is the statement? If LF f of t is f bar of s and g of t value is there, it is with some restrictions. The value of g of t becomes f of t minus a when t is greater than 0, and that value will become 0 if t is less than a. We have to show that Laplace of g of t becomes e to the power of minus as into f bar of s. So for that one, again, by definition of Laplace transform we use. Laplace transform definition. What is that? Laplace of f of t is equal
F
to,
of t is equal to
come on, integral 0 to infinite
integral 0 to infinite
e power minus st f of t dt. Correct?
yes, yes, sir.
Now, what I'm going to do it here is, instead of f of t, I want to replace with the g of t. So then Laplace of g of t becomes integral 0 to infinite e power minus st. Instead of f of t, we are replacing with g
G
of
of
t
t
dt.
to
Now
dt.
look at this part of integration 0 to infinity. I can break it into two parts. Your choice is there. You can break. It means I want to tell you here this line. Suppose this is this is up to infinity, for example. This one I want to break into two parts. How? Suppose this value is 0. This is infinity. I want to break it 0 to a and a to infinity. It means this integral value, see here, Laplace of g of t. This integral value I want to break into two parts. First part will be 0 to a, same value, e power minus st g of t dt, plus it is now from a to infinity. Okay, na? E power
Yes, sir.
minus st g of t dt. Now look at what is the condition given. If this value is less than a, becomes 0. Means this part of this integral, first part will become 0. This
Yes,
is
sir.
0 plus a to infinity as it is. When it is greater than a, means up to infinity, the value of g of t is given what? E power minus st is as it is. What is the value of g of t given here? F of t minus a into dt, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now here we have a small substitution once again, then we can easily prove our result. That substitution will be put t minus a is equal to x. T minus a is equal to x, right?
Yes,
Then
sir.
what about dt become? If you differentiate, dt is equal to
Dx.
t, correct?
Okay, we are differentiating here. Okay.
Yes, differentiating.
Okay.
Differentiation of t is dt, differentiation of constant is 0, x becomes dx. Now we
Yes,
can
sir.
simply put here these values. This is, now one more thing is, if you put this substitution, the limit has been changed. You can see lower limit if you put here a minus a 0. So this is become lower limit is 0. upper limit if you put in place of t, if you put infinity, x will become infinity. This is become 0 to infinity now. Correct?
Yes.
e to the power of minus s as it is. Now what is the value of t? If you want to find out t value from here, what is that becomes? Is it becomes a plus x?
Yes.
Yes. Into f of t minus a we have taken as x, and dx
Yes.
value, dt value becomes already d.
Dx.
Now we can break this into two parts. This is 0 to infinite. Two parts में break करेंगे. So e to the power of minus as is one part into e power minus sx is another part into f of x dx. Now look at integration is with respect to what? X. Means e power minus as is a constant. We can pull out of the integral e power minus as outside, integral 0 to infinity e to the power of minus sx into f of x dx, right? Which is
Yes.
equal to e to the power of minus as it is, and here Laplace of g of t also as it is. Now look at what is this value? E power minus sx into f of x dx. If it is e power minus st, this also can be written as f bar of s, no?
Yes, sir.
तो मतलब क्या है बोलने का मतलब, यहाँ पे जो s है, यहाँ पे वो s अगर सेम है तो ये दिस वैल्यू विल बिकम f bar of s. यहाँ पे भी सेम आ रहा देखिए.
Yes, sir.
So this is what nothing but f bar of s value.
F bar of S.
That is the proof of second shifting theorem.
Yes. Yes.
अब इसके जो प्रॉब्लम्स है बहुत आसान है, सिंपल वे में इसका आंसर आप ला सकते हो. आई विल डू इट 1%. बहुत सिंपल है, इसमें से ज्यादातर क्वेश्चन एग्जाम में आते भी नहीं, फिर भी अगर अगर एग्जाम में क्वेश्चन अगर पूछ लिया तो क्या रहता वो क्वेश्चन, किस तरह से आता है, हाउ टू गिव द आंसर. लुक एट दैट. फाइन. क्वेश्चन इज रिलेटेड टू द सेकंड शिफ्टिंग. फाइंड Laplace of f of t. Find Laplace of f of t where f of t is equal to, it is in the function form sin of t minus 2. Sin of t minus 2 when t is greater than 2, and this value will become 0 when t is less than 2. Okay, that's it.
Yes.
You have to find out Laplace transform of f of t. Now you can see our question is completely related to our second shifting theorem. यहाँ पे
Yes, sir.
f of t की वैल्यू यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं आप, फंक्शन फॉर्म में है. यहाँ फंक्शन इज sin of t minus 2.
T minus
Just
2.
compare f of t minus 2 a to sin of t minus 2. Then what is this
Yes.
a becomes? If you compare,
A is 2.
very good.
Yes.
That is the main point.
Yes, sir.
Solution में, if you compare, you will get a value is 2. Right.
Yes, sir.
This is the important thing. And we can find out the Laplace of this function sin t here.
Yes.
Laplace of sin t. Laplace of f of t means Laplace of sin t. Laplace of sin t. What is the answer of this?
It
1
is
by
1 by S square plus 1.
s square plus 1. So therefore,
Yes.
by second shifting theorem, this answer for what answer देखिए, minus e power minus as into f bar of s. So the answer will be Laplace of f of t answer is equal to e power minus as minus a value is 2s into f bar of s. f bar of s is also equal to L of f of t, और L of f of t की वैल्यू क्या है आपको? 1 by
S square plus 1.
plus 1, that is your answer.
Yes, sir.
That is your answer. Finish. Just to compare and put that answer. मगर ये
Okay.
इस टाइप का क्वेश्चन ज्यादातर एग्जाम में नहीं आता.
Okay, sir.
Okay, next we can go
Okay,
for
sir.
the proof of the second shifting property over now. Change of scale property. Now look at how the question will come. It means second shifting property is over now. Change of scale property. Change of scale property. Now, what is the property? And we have to do the proof for this one. The statement is, if L of f of t, if L of f of t is equal to f bar of s, okay, then Laplace of f of at, if you multiply with at, the answer will be 1 by a into f bar of s by a. Now we have to go for the proof for this one. f of t वैल्यू f bar of s, अगर अपन f में at का मल्टीप्लाई करें तो आंसर में 1 by a f bar of s minus a होता है. That we have to prove.
Yes.
Now look at the proof. Again we use by definition of Laplace transform. Laplace of f of t is equals to integral 0 to infinity e power minus st f of t dt. This is taken as equation number 1. Okay. So where is the change? F place पे क्या कर रहे हैं? At we have to do. Understood? This is equal
Yes.
to integral 0 to infinite e power minus st as it is, f also as it is, t means it is at
Yes, sir.
into dt. Okay. Again,
Yes.
if you have the situation like that, we have to go for some substitution again. What is the substitution? That substitution is again important. Put at is equal to x, and this implies t value is what? X by a.
X by a.
And if you differentiate, dt becomes
Dt is equals to
dx by
dx.
a. And now,
Yes.
if you put lower limit as 0, you will get x is equal to 0. If you put upper limit in place of t infinity, x will become infinity. It means, what do you say? What do you say? No change
In
in?
the limit.
Yes.
Okay.
No change in the limit. This one you have to mention. There is no change in the limit. Now, if you put What is the answer? This is Laplace of f of at is equal to integral 0 to infinite e power minus s as it is. What is t? T is x by a, no?
Yes, sir.
X by a into f of
At
at
is
we have
x.
taken as x into dt value. dt
At
value
is
is
dx by a.
dx by a. Now a is a constant pulled out, 1 by a outside, integral 0 to infinity e power minus as it is. See, s into x by a, I want to write in a different style, that is x into s by a. Can we write like this?
Yes, sir.
The answer will be same again,
Yes.
into f of x
F of x into.
dx, because a already outside. A already outside. Now change the variable. यहाँ पे आंसर आ गया, बट वेरिएबल चेंज करके बता देता हूँ आपको. 0 to infinity, ओके,
Yes.
e to the power of माइनस x को t से रिप्लेस करेंगे, s by a, x will be replacing with t, f of t dt, right? Now this
Yes,
1
sir.
by a as it is. Can you tell me the answer of this by definition? Definition के हिसाब से इसका आंसर बोले. This value is also equal to f bar of s, no?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, मैं फिर से बोल दे रहा हूँ. s जो भी है, s का काम सही रहना चाहिए बस. सही. मतलब यहाँ पे s का जो कोएफिशिएंट है क्या है, t है. यहाँ पे s का
Yes.
कोएफिशिएंट क्या है,
S
सॉरी,
of
t,
s
t
by
का
a.
s by a. तो इसका आंसर
Yes.
क्या आना चाहिए, f bar of,
F bar of s by a.
दैट्स इट, प्रूफ हो गया.
Okay. Okay. So again same दूसरे हम लोग करे जैसा प्रूव वैसी कोएफिशिएंट का सिमिलर रहना है. Okay.
दैट्स इट. दिस इज द प्रूफ ऑफ चेंज ऑफ स्केल प्रॉपर्टी.
Yes.
इसमें ज्यादा क्वेश्चन तो है नहीं चेंज ऑफ स्केल प्रॉपर्टी में. So then I'll move on to the multiplication by t property. Next property. For some properties we don't have the problem. इसका कुछ भी importance है नहीं. That's what we are moving to the next one. Right?
Okay. Okay.
Multiplication multiplication by t property. Multiplication by t property. Now what is the statement and how to prove it? You can prove. If Laplace of f of t is equal to f bar of s. Now you can notice here for each and every property this condition is there. Laplace f of
Yes.
t value is f bar of s. Then
Yes, sir.
then Laplace of then Laplace of t into f of t. E का मल्टीप्लाई हो रहा फर्स्ट शिफ्टिंग थ्योरम, इंटरवल में आ रहा सेकंड शिफ्टिंग थ्योरम. चेंज ऑफ स्केल प्रॉपर्टी पे तो क्वेश्चन नहीं है अपने पास. और t का मल्टीप्लाई हो रहा मतलब मल्टीप्लिकेशन बाय t प्रॉपर्टी. दिस वन वी हैव टू प्रूव. So when we multiply f of t with t, that answer will be minus d by ds of f bar of s. This one we have to
Yes.
prove. Now look at proof. Again by definition of Laplace transform. This time I want to
Laplace
write like
f
that.
of
एफ
Okay.
बार ऑफ एस वैल्यू यूज करता हूँ, एफ बार ऑफ एस
Okay.
इज इक्वल टू बोथ फैसिलिटीज अवेलेबल नाउ,
Yes,
जीरो
sir.
टू इंफिनिटी
0 to infinity e
e
power
power
minus st
एस
into
टी
f of t dt.
एफ ऑफ टी डी टी. आई वांट टू यूज द डेफिनेशन पार्ट. Okay, this is
Yes, sir.
equation number one.
Yes.
Now what I want to do, क्या करना है, एफ बार ऑफ एस को डिफरेंशिएट करना है विद रेस्पेक्ट टू एस. डिफरेंशिएट यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं आप रिक्वायरमेंट के हिसाब से. डिफरेंशिएट इक्वेशन नंबर वन विद रेस्पेक्ट टू एस. So what's the answer? D by ds of f bar of s is equal to if you differentiate you will get like that. D
Yes.
by ds
D by
of
ds.
integral 0 to
0.
infinity e power minus t f of t dt. f of t dt. Now यहाँ पे एक रूल है, when you are going to differentiate integral term, याद रखिए, इसको बोलते हैं
Yes.
डिफरेंशिएशन अंडर द इंटीग्रेशन. जब भी
Okay.
आपको इंटीग्रल टर्म को डिफरेंशिएट करते, तो ये डिफरेंशिएट वाला टर्म अंदर जाके पार्शियल हो जाता है ऐसा. 0 to
Okay.
infinity it will become partial like that. It will become dou by dou s now. नॉर्मल
Okay.
डेरिवेटिव जाके पार्शियल डेरिवेटिव हो जाता है इंटीग्रेशन के अंदर जाके.
Yes, sir. Yes.
e पावर माइनस एस टी f of t dt. Now what we have to do, we have to differentiate this total term with respect to s partially. So e power minus st का differentiation with respect to s is e power minus st into s coefficient is minus t. That's it.
Yes, sir.
0 to infinity. So the answer of this is e power minus st into s coefficient is minus t into f of t into dt. So do one thing, ये माइनस को निकाल के बाहर कर दी, तो ये हो जाता माइनस d by ds of f bar of s is equals to if this minus will be outside, then what is left of
Yes.
here? 0 to infinity e power minus st t f of t,
Yes.
right? इसको अपन क्या लिख
Yes.
सकते हैं, लैपलेस ऑफ टी एफ ऑफ टी
F
लिख
of
सकते हैं ना.
yes. T f of t. Yes, sir.
दैट्स अ प्रूफ.
Right. Oh,
दिस
we
इज कॉल्ड
proved it. Yes.
मल्टीप्लीकेशन बाय टी प्रॉपर्टी, राइट.
Okay, sir.
मल्टीप्लीकेशन बाय टी प्रॉपर्टी. अब अपन एक कुछ क्वेश्चंस देके क्लास खत्म करेंगे.
Okay, sir.
Now look at some questions based on the multiplication by t property. What are the questions? And you can easily identify that if this question is belongs to multiplication by t property. Like this question is find Laplace of t sin t. Laplace of t sin t. Multiplication का है बोल के दिख रहा ना clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's very very simple. अब इसका जब solution करेंगे, the solution will be, when finding the solution, you have to find out Laplace of sin t first of all. Laplace of
Yes, sir.
sin t. What is the answer?
It is 1 by
1
s
by,
square plus 1.
very good, 1 by s square plus 1. Now, therefore by multiplication of t property
Yes.
और theorem भी बोल सकते हैं इसको, Laplace of when multiplying with the t sin t. Now look at how, what is the power of t? T is 1 now.
Yes, sir.
तो now देखिए theorem का मीनिंग देखिए, अगर t का पावर 1 है तो आपको क्या करना, उसके आंसर को एक बार डिफरेंशिएशन करना माइनस के साथ. अगर t का
Okay.
पावर 2 है तो दो बार डिफरेंशिएट करना -1 होल स्क्वायर रख के. अगर t का पावर 3 है तो तीन बार डिफरेंशिएट करना -1 का पावर 3 रख के.
Okay.
तो एक जनरल फार्मूला कैसा बन जाता वो, यहाँ पे लिख देता हूँ मैं जनरल फार्मूला आपका, ऐसा बन जाता है। लैप्लस ऑफ टी पावर एन एफ ऑफ टी बिकम्स -1 होल टू द पावर ऑफ एन टी पावर एन डी एस पावर एन ऑफ एफ बार ऑफ एस, राइट। एक है एक बार, दो है दो बार, तीन है तीन बार, यहाँ पे टी का पावर एक ही है, तो इसका मतलब माइनस ऑफ -1 होल टू द पावर ऑफ 1 डी पावर 1, डायरेक्ट भी लिख सकते हैं बट मैं पहला प्रॉब्लम डिटेल में बता रहा हूँ, डी एस पावर 1 ऑफ दिस वैल्यू एफ बार ऑफ, तो एफ बार ऑफ ऐसे डिनोट, तो दिस इज 1 बाई एस स्क्वायर
स्क्वायर
प्लस 1,
प्लस 1।
so this is equal to minus as it is.
यस।
If you differentiate this value, what is the difference of 1 by x? Minus 1 by x square. Differentiation of 1 by x is
-1 by x square, so s plus 1
minus
whole
1
square।
by x square into inner function s square becomes 2s. So finally the answer will be
Yes।
minus into minus plus 2s by s square plus 1 whole square. This is the end of this problem, and this is called what? Multiplication by t
Oh,
property.
multiplication by t property। Yes sir।
बहुत क्वेश्चन है, अभी तो अपन बेसिक बेसिक क्वेश्चन करेंगे, अब तो लार्ज क्वेश्चन करेंगे, थोड़े और ज्यादा क्वेश्चन करेंगे, एक और क्वेश्चन करके इसको मैं स्टॉप कर देता हूँ। क्वेश्चन देखिए ऐसा है, क्वेश्चन है फाइंड लाप्लास ऑफ टी ई पावर टी। अब इस तरह का क्वेश्चन आ गया तो आपके पास चॉइस आ जाती, क्या चॉइस आती? या तो आप ये क्वेश्चन को फर्स्ट शिफ्टिंग से कर सकते हो क्योंकि ई पावर टी का मल्टीप्लाई हो रहा, या फिर ये क्वेश्चन को आप टी से मल्टीप्लाई हो रहा बोल के मल्टीप्लीकेशन बाय टी प्रॉपर्टी से कर सकते हैं। मैं एक काम करता हूँ, दोनों मेथड से बता दें। दोनों मेथड से कैसा? सपोज पहले मैं लैप्लास ऑफ ई पावर टी कर रहा हूँ, देन व्हाट इज द आंसर? 1 बाई एस माइनस 1, करेक्ट।
Yes sir।
देयरफॉर बाई multiplication of t property, multiplication of t property, Laplace of t e power t is equal to, since the power is 1, we have to differentiate this value only one time, minus d by ds of this value 1 by s minus 1. So again the same story, minus will be as it is, differentiation of 1 by x is minus 1 by x square, and there is a inner function again, but differentiation of s 1 is हो जाता, inner function 1 is हो जाता, so answer is what? 1 by s माइनस 1 होल स्क्वायर। ये एक मेथड हो गया। सेकंड मेथड में आप इसको ऐसा भी कर सकते हो, पहले लैप्लास ऑफ टी फाइंड आउट करेंगे। लैप्लास ऑफ टी क्या हो गया? 1 बाई एस, राइट, बाई, अब भूल गए
Yes।
शायद, बाई फर्स्ट शिफ्टिंग थ्योरम, लैप्लास ऑफ e power t into t. So whenever we are multiplying with the t, 1 by s is there, and then s will be changes to s minus 1।
-1। Yes।
अच्छा सॉरी, 1 by t का 1 by s स्क्वायर होता है, so then it is 1 by s will be changes to s minus 1
s
whole.
minus 1 whole square।
Look at the answers are same।
Yes। Yes
मतलब
sir।
एक ही क्वेश्चन को आप मल्टीपल मेथड से भी कर सकते हो, चॉइस इज योर।
Okay sir।
तो अपन एक ही क्वेश्चन को अपन, क्योंकि ऐसा ऑप्शन था, तो आप या तो मल्टीप्लिकेशन बाय टी प्रॉपर्टी से कर लो, या फिर आप सेम क्वेश्चन को फर्स्ट शिफ्टिंग थ्योरम से कर लो, ये दोनों मल्टीप्लाई में है। तो दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम एक्चुअली बेस्ड ऑन मल्टीप्लिकेशन बाय टी प्रॉपर्टी कर रहे हैं अपन। अभी आगे आपको टी स्क्वायर पे भी रहेगा, टी क्यूब पे भी रहेगा, राइट।
Okay sir।
तो
Okay।
आप एक बार पीछे से क्लास एक बार प्रीवियस पेजेस पे जाकर, डाउट है तो बताइए, बिकॉज मैं आप क्लास एंड कर रहा हूँ, क्लास डिस्टर्ब हो जाता है। मेरा
ओके
शेड्यूल थोड़ा टाइट है, 4-5 लोगों को ऑनलाइन पढ़ा रहा हूँ, तो सबका अलग अलग सिलेबस।
ओके सर, आई विल बी ऑन टाइम इंशाल्लाह नेक्स्ट टाइम सर।
9:30 टू अनदर सेशन इज देयर अगेन। अगेन फिर उसके बाद 10:15 से और एक सेशन है, तो टाइम बहुत ज़्यादा रिलैक्स, थोड़ा भी डिस्टर्ब हुआ सबको डिस्टर्ब हुआ। तो सेकंड शिफ्टिंग थ्योरम
ओके
पढ़े अपन आज, ये प्रॉब्लम करें। फिर देन
यस
we have done the change of scale property and even multiplication by t property, but we have done only one question here. In the next section I will continue some problems based on the multiplication by t property, उसके बाद division by t property करेंगे। ठीक है,
ओके सर ओके
ठीक है,
ओके
we'll send the record meeting।
ऑलराइट थैंक यू सर।
Okay.